Is this the year that the Maple Leafs can finally win with the core four? This is probably going to be the last year of the core four.
I think yes. I don't know why, to be honest with you. I mean, actually, my why is Austin Matthews. My why is Mitch Marner is on a contract year. Same with John Tavares. John Tavares isn't getting any younger, but he still put up pretty good numbers last season. William Nylander entering his extension with Austin Matthews. Um, my one concern though is their goaltending. Like it's always been a concern. However, though they signed Wool to that contract, to that 3-year contract, I believe it was something like that. Can he come in and step in and be a starting goaltender right away? Now he is going to be their starting goaltender, but can he produce like a starting goaltender? He played well to start last season. I believe he got hurt in the middle of the season, came back, was all right. In the playoffs, he came in, he was good for them, it felt like. And then, of course, in a meaningless goal, the end game six. I mean, was it meaningless, though? It was a save to shut out.
I mean, they did sign a pretty reliable backup in Anthony Stolarz, who's a really solid backup last year for Florida. So that's not a bad option to turn to if you need someone to play like 30 games. I wouldn't feel comfortable him as a full time starter, but like looking at this roster, this makeup, I mean, they gave Chris Tanev a 6-year contract. He's 34 years old. He's in a contract till he's 40 now. I think you get 2 or 3 years tops out of him. I like playing at a good level. He's a very physical defenseman, so that contract's probably going to age poorly, but I don't think they really care because I think they're of the opinion if he can help us win a cup within 2 or 3 years, that's a win. We'll just deal with it when we have to deal with it. I mean, I'm really curious to see what they do with Mitch Marner. I know there had been rumors that they were working on extension. Maybe that will circle back up when they start reporting for training camp. It's really interesting to see what they're going to do because I know the cap's going up, but they're paying Matthews 13.2. They're paying Nylander 11.5. How much is Mitch Marner going to get? Is he going to get 11? Is he going to get 12? Like he's going to get at least 10 million plus. He's probably going to 11. Like so you're paying three players like almost $40 million in cap space right there. You know, I'm not worried about John Tavares. I know like, he's on an $11 million cap hit this year, but I can see him re-signing with the Maple Leafs around like $5 or $6 million a year. He'll take a more of a team-friendly contract. I think he wants to stay a Maple Leaf. So I don't think this is going to be the last we see of the core four. I think the core four is going to be a little different, especially when Tavares' salary cap hit goes down a bit. Because I can't see him getting that much money again. He's still a good player, don't get me wrong. But at his age, there's no way they're giving him like over $8 million a year.
Yeah, Tavares is going to be probably his salary is going to be cut almost in half. Mitch Marner, on the other hand, he's looking for a pay raise, and there have been reports with all this extension talk with the Maple Leafs is that he's not looking to take a team friendly deal. He sees Matthews get 13, 14 million. He sees Nylander get 11, 12 million. He's like, listen, they didn't take team friendly deals. I'm looking for 11 to 12 million as well. I think he should honestly get the same money as William Nylander. I think they're both equally as good. Personally, I think Marner has had, if we're talking about just what he's done regular season, I think he's had a bigger impact than William Nylander. If we're talking about overall, if you include playoffs, I think William Nylander's had a bigger impact. But I do think Mitch Marner deserves what Nylander's getting. I think if you're Mitch Marner's party and agent and himself, you're like, listen, I want that money. And I don't blame him for it, to be honest with you, because he deserves a pay raise for, honestly, the production he puts up with the Maple Leafs.
I mean, like last year, I know there was a lot of people were harping on him for how he was doing in the playoffs last year. He didn't really look like he was fully engaged, in the first round series against the Bruins. But you just look at the stats and numbers don't lie. He's an elite player. He's one of the best like point getters in the league year after year. He's probably going to get 11, $12 million. And if you're Toronto, do you really want to be paying, three guys 11 plus $1 million a year?
If you're
How many other teams are going to be willing to give him that kind of money? Because he's a great player, but I don't know. It's,
although
it's, it,
if you're Trivling, I really hope I pronounced that right. Do you look at Marner and Matthews and you're like, listen, Marner's Matthews' right hand man. Okay, we're just gonna give him the money he wants and just deal with it, I guess. If you're the Maple Leafs, you look at it and be like, listen, Tavares is making 11 this season. We give Marner 12 next season. See if Tavares is willing to take 4 or 5, not 4 or 5, sorry, like $6 million, and then you're like, we're eating up some cap. But do you like you don't have any other cap space to fill up your depth, and this is where things get tricky because then the Maple Leafs are even more handcuffed because it's obviously not working. You need something else to spark this team to
I
get
mean, it
past the
is
first round.
working. They're one of the best teams in the league every single year. They're a lock for a playoff spot every year. I think more Toronto's problem is defensively they haven't been as good as they needed to be, and goaltending's been a big hindrance on that team. I know Joseph Wall played awesome for them in a couple playoff games he did play last year. Samsonov didn't play great in the first couple. I thought he played out his heart out in Game 7. He put everything he had
Yeah.
into that game. But I mean, I think their biggest liability is just the defensive game has not been good enough. They haven't been physical enough, and I think they went out and addressed that this offseason. Bringing in Chris Tanev is going to be a big difference maker, in my opinion. He's the kind of player Toronto needed exactly. Joseph Wall. Hopefully, if Joseph Wall can stay healthy, I think he can be a good starter in the league. He's proven that he's been willing to show up in big moments for the Maple Leafs. I mean, they almost came back from 3-1 last year against the Bruins in the first round. But Mitch Marner, getting back to him just real quick, he'll probably have 90 to 100 points this year. But the biggest thing for him is you're going to show up in the playoffs. Like, he has to be like a point per game in the playoffs. Like, he has to make a big impact. If this team wants to go anywhere, he has to be a difference maker in the playoffs.
He has to be
Can they
consistent.
can they do it? Absolutely. This team is super talented. They've been one of the best regular season teams in the league for years. Ever since they got Austin Matthews, they've been a contender. I think they have the talent to do it. Just can they put it all together?
I'm not going to blame the playoff format because I get they always get matched up with the Panthers or Tampa or Boston, but every single team that finishes second and third in the division has to deal with it. So I'm just gonna put that out.
Well, they play Boston so much they should be able to beat them by now.
Exactly, make
If
adjustments,
you, if you,
but
if you play a team in the first round 4 times and you can't beat them once, that's your fault.
that's where I think Berube is going to be a difference maker is coaching.
Thank you guys so much for staying to the end of the video. We really appreciate you watching all the way to the end. If you enjoy our content, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Drop a like if you enjoyed it. If you want to keep this conversation going, be sure to check out our Discord. The link will be in the description below. Very active. We're trying to build an active community there. Talk hockey 24/7. Also check out our Twitter, Instagram, and TikToks. The links will be down below in the description. Thank you guys for watching.